Hey everybody, welcome back. This is part two for the Kickstarter clutch repair. Uh, so enjoy this second half and I'll see y'all later. Okay everyone, let me see if I can get this thing all back together with the camera right here. I don't have a lot of room. I don't have any other way to get the camera to where it's straight in. We're going to start off by checking the shifter linkage, because when I did test ride it, it didn't go into gear good. I had to play around with the shifting with the gear shifter. So right now it's in neutral. Go down into first. There's first. There's second. There's third. There's fourth. There's fifth. Okay. Fourth, third, second, first, neutral. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in. See right there, when it's in neutral, there's first. Well, then in neutral, when I go to put it in the second gear, it doesn't go in. So that tells me that the shift linkage is not adjusted correctly. See, got to go from first all the way to second. We'll go in third gear and we'll pull the screw out. If I can get that. Where's the shifter at over here? Okay. Pull the screw out, take this plate off and check and see how even this is. Okay, yeah, you can see right here, the gap here and the gap here are not even. So I need to adjust this. And to do that, right down here, I have to knock the flat down. Excuse me. I have to knock the lock washer down from the nut, loosen the nut, and then I can adjust the shift linkage. Let me see if I can get in here and do that without knocking the camera around. I'm going to back you up a little bit so I can have some hammer room. Okay, I believe that's a 17. Yep. Get this lock nut loosened up. Not a lot of room in there. Just wanting to turn the screw. All right. My big dog screwdriver. I'm going to move you over here to the side a little bit. I got to come into here straight on. Got to try to hold this. And loosen that. Okay, I tightened it. I turned it a little bit. Now the gap looks almost right on the money. I still need to loosen that up a little bit. Okay, right there looks good. tighten this back up. Okay. Flatten this back over. I just got to get this flattened up against the nut somehow. Use the right tool for the job, right? Giant Japanese standard. Phillips head. Okay. Now if you look, you can see the gap right there. Looks a lot more even. So let's see what it's like shifting. There's first, second, let me put it back into neutral. There's first, neutral. See, it goes into second out of neutral. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, fourth, third, second, first, neutral. Perfect. All right. I'm going to take and put a little drop of some Loctite on this screw. Let me get my bottle open. Little drop of Loctite on that screw. Let's get that back in here. Okay, as I tighten this up, it's going to go in gear. Okay, that's tight. Put it back in neutral. Yep, we're in neutral. All right, shifting is lined up good. All right, I got my micrometers here, and I've got the book, and it calls out right here. I don't know if you can see that very good, but it's 4.0 millimeters thickness on the clutch discs. So let's measure one of these puppies. I would say that if one is good, they all should be good. And let's see here. And it's measuring 4.03. 4.0. Okay, so I'd say the clutch discs are good. They look like they're brand new. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the steel plates, wipe them down, and I'm going to take and run them on like a piece of surface plate. We got new countertops in the house, and we got quartz. Well, the piece that came out of the sink, where the sink cut out, I kept, because that is going to work for my surface plate for cleaning all the steel plates. So let me get these things set up and I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, got these steel discs. We'll just take them. Okay, that's not working. And try to knock some of that glaze off of there. I can't move them. This will work. Just gotta kind of knock the glaze off of them. They get slick. No way to hold on to these. Without that one index finger, it's no joke, man. There it goes. Not on that side though. Alright. Okay, get you back over here where you belong. Put everything all back together. All right. Put everything back together here. I'm going to start with this unit. There's a gear. You have your bushing. There's a hole in the bushing. The hole goes towards the main clutch assembly. So I always put that in. And then the gear has these little dog legs. That goes into the back of the clutch assembly, so it locks in. I like to always just put that together, then slide the whole 9 yards on there until it locks in place. You can tell when it goes all the way down. Then you have a thin washer, goes on. You have a needle bearing, goes on. Then you have a flat, thicker washer that goes on. Then you have your inner clutch housing. Goes on. You have your lock washer with the teeth on it. Line the teeth up, put that on. Then your nut has recessed on one side. That goes in. Make sure that stays up on the teeth. Then go ahead and get your handy dandy clutch holding tool. Put that on. Giant socket. Spin it around. That tool will come in contact with the Kickstarter. And that'll help lock it up. As far as the torque goes, that's about it. I don't recall how many foot-pounds it is, but I got a pretty good idea what it should be. Okay, let's go ahead and put this thing back together now. So we start off with steel plate. Then a rubber. Then a clutch. Then a steel plate. Clutch. Rubber. Steel. I don't know what those cushions actually do, if they do anything, but they're in there. So I put them on. Then you put your pressure plate on. But first, you got to make sure, which I almost forgot, you put your clutch push rod back in. That'd be a pain if you put everything together. You get to the end, it's all buttoned up. You start it up, put it in gear. You go to pull the clutch in, and your clutch is dead. It's like, oh no, that would be a disaster. Put all your springs back in. Now I'm going to run these down with my impact, and then I'll hit them with my, I'm sorry, when I run them all down with my cordless. Back you up a little bit. And since it's 5 lug like the wheels on a car, skip every other one. That way it's halfway even. Sorry about hitting the camera. Alright, now I'm going to take my impact, give them a good smack, get them tightened up a little bit. Alright. Go ahead and put this case back on. Everything else looks good. Spring is hooked onto the clip. Kickstarter washer. There we are. Okay, let's get all these case screws back in. The longest one goes right here. And then just feed them around the case. I put the stock 125 exhaust pipe on this. Try to keep peace with the neighbors and my wife. The expansion chambers I have for this, the stock get kit chambers. 2 of them don't have silencers on them. 1 does, but I think it's clogged up. Okay, go around this, tighten them up. I'm going to go around this thing with the impact driver, give them a little tap tap, tighten. 1 little smack on each one, give it just a little extra. Those were pretty loose when I went to take them off, so. That should be sufficient. All right. Drain plug. It's right there. Well, that's not the drain plug. Trying to put a foot peg bolt in the drain plug. Okay, get started right there. Now for the foot pegs. Over on the other side, make sure I get them lined up. Nope. All right. Come on. See if this helps any. Probably not. I tell you, trying to get nuts and bolts started without an index finger can be a real challenge. Be surprised how much that index finger comes into play on your right hand when you're right-handed. I should have called my channel Nine Fingers Garage. Let me get this other cover put on here. Those are tight. All right, let me get the oil in this, get this down off the cart, and we'll get it fired up and we'll give it a test run to see if this clutch still slips. So I'll bring you back in a minute. Okay, let me see what this thing does. Take it up the street. See if that clutch still slips. That's pretty good. Start a first kick. There's plenty of gap in the clutch. Okay. That seemed pretty good. Goes through the gears. That's funny, one thing I've never noticed before. The foot pegs are offset. That's weird. The left side is forward, I would say 2 inches. Clutch is still slipping a little bit. Front brake needs a lot of adjustment. It feels better. This little bike's got some get up and go, I'll tell you that. Alright. Let's take this thing up the street. Give you guys this view. You can hear the clutch is still slipping just a little bit, but this thing flat scoots. No idea why that clutch is slipping. Everything measures good. Now, if the forks were good, as easy as that front end came up, it would have come up a lot better. But anyways, that's it. 125, 73 ATMX 125.